Good morning, second grade. We have language arts again this morning. Let's first of all do some review first before we go into lesson today. So we're going to review the compound, the study word compound sentence. You had that yesterday. Compound sentence means two sentences joined together to make one sentence. So it's like two sentences and they join them together and they make one sentence out of it. Okay, let's review also the friendly letter. There are 5 parts in a friendly letter. We have the heading, greeting, body, closing, and signature. Heading is number 1, that's the first part. That's way up there on the top, it's the date. And then we have the greeting is number 2, body is number 3, closing is number 4, and signature is number 5. So what 3 parts need a comma in the friendly letter? It would be the heading, which in the date you put a comma after the day. And also the greeting gets a comma after the greeting. And then the closing gets a comma, like with love or your friend, it gets a comma after that. Okay, which words get capitalized in the greeting? Each word gets capitalized in the greeting. The closing, only the first word in the closing. Okay, so now let's go into today's lesson. We have compound sentences with but, lesson 12. Let's read the teaching box there. You can follow along as I read there. It says, compound sentences with but. You have learned to use and to make compound sentences. You can also use the word but. Put a comma at the end of the first sentence and add the word but. Then write the last sentence. And they have examples there for us. I ate an apple for a snack. James drank a glass of milk. So they combine those 2 sentences and put the word but in there and also a comma. I ate an apple for a snack, comma, but James drank a glass of milk. So it's kind of talking about 2 different ideas there. So then you would, instead of using and, you would put in the word but because it's kind of talking about 2 different ideas. Okay, part A. You will write compound sentences using but. Remember to use a comma. So let's do some sentences here on the board and join them. They're sentences, 2 sentences, groups of 2 sentences, and we want to join them and make them compound sentences. So we will, the first sentence here says, I water the flowers, Tommy feeds the horses. So those 2 are kind of talking about like kind of the same thing. It's kind of the same thing, but a little bit different. But it's both talking about chores, right? So we can use and in here. I water the flowers and Tommy feeds the horses. They're talking about the chores maybe they have to do that evening. So we'll use and in here. And comma, of course, and join it with and. Tommy feeds the horses. And don't forget your periods also at the end of your sentences. Okay, so then we have the next sentence. It says, Terry likes running games. Sam would rather draw pictures. So that is kind of like 2 different ideas. So we're going to use the word but in there. So we'll just write it out again. Terry likes running games. And don't forget your comma and use the word but. Sam would rather draw pictures. So it's kind of like two different ideas. You know, Terry, he likes to do running games, but Sam, he would rather draw pictures. All right, and then we have the next sentence. Conrad has 2 pet goldfish. My cousin Victor has a pet turtle. There again, we have kind of like a contradicting thing, like we have 2 different things. So we will use the word but to join that because it's kind of talking about 2 different things. Okay, so that is what they are focusing on today. All right, let's review some of your phonics here. I have some phonics things to review today again. So we have the sounds of all. A-L can say all as in walk or O as in dog. And this one is a W can say all as in fawn, and a U can say all as in faucet. So O-U-G-H can say all as in thought, A-U-G-H can say all as in caught. And then we have the sounds of U. Just plain U can say U as in mule. And then also EW can say U as in few. And then the sounds of oo. O can say oo as in moon. And OU can say oo as in soup. And EW can say oo as in flute. Okay, let's also look at penmanship for today. So today we have the letter J in penmanship. I'll tell you how to make the J over here. Okay, so J. For the J, we start, the J, he starts on the baseline. So the baseline is the bottom line. So start the J on the baseline, curve left and up to the headline. So we'll start the baseline and curve left up to the headline and come slanting down again and make a loop down here in the basement and just keep on going up like that. Okay, so J, and you have J is connected to the lowercase letters. So today we have the words June and July, and J is connected to them. So we're just going to make another J right here. So we start at the baseline here and go curving up, go down like this, and then we keep right on going. So I'm going to write the word July. Okay, July. It looks a lot like an I, but it goes down into the basement instead of going over. So J is made a lot like the letter I. Okay, and then you have also some lowercase letters to write today. You have the letter D and the small d and the I and the S and the G and the F and the T. So, and also the capital letters, which they would be up there on the top in part L. Do you remember what present and past are? Present is like right now, and past is something that happened in the past, like yesterday or something like that. So let's look now at your spelling. Let's go over those words there. So we have You can read them with me. I'm going to read the spelling words. You will get to cut out section 3 on page 59 today. I'm going to read the spelling words and you can follow along and you can read them with me. It says pretend, alike, began, become, delay, report, woman, unwise, unhappy, expect, belong, enjoy, became, another, and women. Okay, let's look in spelling section now in part N, or it's actually for part O. It's the teaching box there on top of page 42. Follow along with me as I read. It says synonyms are words that mean almost the same thing, and they have cold, cool, and chilly. So do you still remember synonyms? Synonyms are kind of like similar. They have similar meanings. And so then you will write a spelling word that is a synonym for part O. So a spelling word that means the same, pretty much the same as the underlined word. Don't forget to read your sentence because that will make a little bit more sense then. So read your whole sentence first and then look at the underlined word and decide which spelling word would be the best synonym for that word. So yeah, you can follow your directions again today and be careful with everything for sure. Part G, let's look back on part G. It says you're supposed to circle the verb, underline the noun, and box the describing words. Write the words on the diagram. So describing, okay, let's back up a little bit. So nouns, they name person, places, or things. Verbs show action, and describing words describe the noun. So describing words in these sentences will usually be before the noun because they describe the noun. So you can remember that as you do part G. Okay, I'm going to let you go ahead with your lesson today. Remember to do a careful job, and I'll talk to you soon in another class.